I was just pondering about how we are in the middle of transition from a lot of old traditional systems to newer systems when it comes to financial sector. We are transitioning from the fiat economic system to a blockchain based system, and time will tell how uh, good the blockchain technology will hold the global economy. But I could totally see the transition happening slowly and surely, because within the past 10 years, blockchain had captured significant minds, in the sense like blockchain have uh, evolved into a whole different ecosystem of its own. So, as I believe Neville was mentioning, uh, blockchain or Ethereum in this case, specific Ethereum blockchain will act like an app store where you can download various apps. So we're the blockchain itself is creating its own ecosystem. So with this gigantic shift, sooner or later the traditional system will move towards the newer ecosystem, like how all the traditional systems have been back in the old times. Though everything was analog, like all the notes were stored in files on papers and whatnot. And once the technology evolved, the traditional systems kind of evolved and caught up and became digitized. And now there is an evolution of technology from the current iteration, I guess, to a blockchain based iteration. So sooner or later, the traditional system will um, yeah, come on board on blockchain. This is, I mean, this is my understanding, and I could be like 100% wrong on this. But I feel that blockchain will integrate really well with a lot of other systems already in place, because I see different companies already adopting blockchain for their supply management. Some companies are using blockchain for their storage, data storage or of some sort. And I mean, to be honest, like I don't even know like all the application, and still I'm sold on the technology. But again, just being sold on technology doesn't mean that I'm sold for every blockchain powered projects, because there are millions of projects out there, and a lot of them are pure scam. Um, and that's why I tend to focus on community backed programs, because when any project is backed by community, it means there is a lot of traction for that project, and it's bound to add value to the community and to the world as a whole. So it's more likely that that project will be a successful project, like um, Wikipedia, for instance, which add tremendous value to the world, even though not every content in Wikipedia should be believed as true. Yet it has its value, where you can look up for some information on Wikipedia, and since it's backed by community, it comes with all the flaws. The different applications based on the blockchain will act and behave very similar to that model. So I feel that the next decade or so will be very interesting, especially with the rise of NFT, the non fungible tokens. Non fungible tokens are already creating its own market, but that's just a part of its application at the moment for collectibles. But I think that the collectibles themselves will become more, um, usable in real world. For instance, if you have a digital art which you own, uh, I would envision that in maybe like a decade or so, I would have a big TV-like photo frame in my, you know, living room, and on which I can preview all the digital art I own, all the NFT tokens I own. So I can totally envision that and imagine that synced with various systems in my you know day-to-day products, like in my car or my on my phone, and I could go through those digital tokens on any of these devices. So I can totally see the value of NFTs growing in the future. And again, I believe just like blockchain, the NFTs will have its own mini communities found around it, and those projects would have a better, successful result than all the types of NFTs, I believe. And I plan to keep an eye on all of these technologies for next decade or so to see how various applications evolve based on these technologies.